Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we're going to be seeing how to sew this very cute bustier with loops at the back. It's very easy, and if you've not seen the pattern drafting tutorial for this, you should definitely check it out as well. If you're not subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Let's go into the video. So guys, in my last video I drafted out the pattern for bustier. It's already up on the channel. You guys should definitely check that out as well. So I used this to cut out on my actual fabric. So these two right here are the front pieces, and then these two are the back pieces. We have the center back and the side back. While cutting on my actual fabric, I added about ½ inch stitching allowance all the way around, except the sides, that's the side front and the side back, because I already added stitching allowance to that part when I was cutting it when I was cutting out the pattern. So the next thing I went ahead to do was to also duplicate the same thing on my lining pieces. Just cut out everything on my lining pieces as well. So guys, the next thing I am going to go ahead to do is I'm working on the back pieces right now. So this part is the center back, the part with the zipper, and then the side back here. I'm just arranging it in place to know exactly which side goes to which side, and I'm just going to pin it together like this. And after which I'm actually going to take this over to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch it down. So right now I'm going to stitch it down here, and I will repeat this process exactly for the other part of the back as well. After that, I went ahead to iron my stain to all the 3 front pieces, and I also did the same thing for the back pieces as well. I ironed the stay after joining this side I pinned down just now. So this is what the back looks like. So now what I'm going to do is to start joining the front pieces together. So I'm just going to place the side to the middle part of the front like this, and what I'm going to do is to just hold it down with my pins, as you see me doing like this. And after that, we are going to head over to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch it down. So this is what it looks like when you're through pinning it down. I'm just going to stitch along the side with about ½ inch, and I will do the exact same thing for this other side as well. So guys, after I was done stitching it down on both sides, this is what it looks like. What I'm going to do is to just make notches all the way around so that we'll be able to open this up perfectly. So this is what it looks like even before ironing it out. So next thing I'm going to do is use this my tailor's ham. I'm just going to turn it over to the back, and as you can see me doing, I am just opening the seams and I'm ironing it, the seams open. And after that, I'm just going to also flip it to the other side and I will iron it out as well. So you see how neatly it comes out when you iron your seams open. Everything just really comes out and stays perfectly. So this is what it looks like after I was done ironing it, and you can see how neat the back looks like. So I'm just going to repeat the same process for the lining pieces as well. I'll repeat everything I did on the front and the back pieces on the lining pieces here. So I've stitched down the lining pieces and went ahead to iron them out as well. Now we're going to come over to the front, and I'm just going to join the back pieces to the front. So I want to join the sides together. So to do this, you remember that when I was cutting out this pattern, I added 2 inches as stitching allowance to my pattern. If you've not seen the pattern, you should definitely check out that video. So I'm just marking that 2-inch stitching allowance that I added earlier away from the sides, and I'm just going to stitch it down here and here on the sewing machine, and I'll do the exact same thing on the lining pieces. So this was what it looks like after I stitched it down, and I went ahead to also iron my seams open as well. After that, there's just this lining showing up here. I'm just going to cut it out and just make sure that the top is nicely trimmed off. So I wanted to have these tiny straps to tie it up around my shoulder, so I decided to use this bias tape, and I'm just going to fold it up like this twice. And after I did that, this is what I had. So I went ahead to cut out 18 inches in 4 places, and I'm just going to tie up one end of this just so that it doesn't fray from that edge. I'm going to do this for all the 4 pieces. So after I was done, this other part here, I'm just going to place it on all my dart area. So the dart area at the back, I'm just going to place one here and pin it down. And I also put another one here, which is the dart area in front. So guys, after placing on my straps, now I'm just going to cover it up with my lining piece, right side facing each other, as you see me doing it like this. And what I'm going to do is to just pin all the way around the top. So guys, when you're done pinning it down, I'm just going to head over to the sewing machine. I'm just going to stitch it all the way around with half an inch all the way to the end. After I was done with that, this is what it looks like, and this is the back. So if you flip it over, you see that it's sewn there. So what I'm going to do is to quickly use my scissors, and I'm just going to make notches all the way around so that it stays perfectly when I am ironing it out and when I turn it over. So guys, now this is what it looks like, right? We're going to turn it to the other side like this, and I'm going to go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to make a top stitch all the way around, and the stitch will be towards the lining. So guys, after I was done making that top stitch and ironing it out, this is what it looks like. So you see that the lining is not showing in front at all. So this is the top stitch I was talking about. I hope you can see it. So this is what it looks like after I was done with that. You can see how neat it looks. It's very neat. So guys, while I was cutting out this pattern, I added zipper allowance because I thought I would be putting zipper to the back, but now somehow I changed my mind in the middle of making this video and decided to have loops at the back. So I'm just taking 3 inches away from the top and then 2 inches away from the down, and I just curved it to meet each other like this, and I'm just going to cut it away. So I'll have enough room now for my loops. So I went ahead to fold my bias and then cut out these white tiny pieces of straps. They are actually 1.5 inches long, and what I'm going to do is to use them to create my loop holes. And to get the differences between my loops, I just made measurement, and from the first part I am marking 1.5 inch different for all the loops. So I'm just going to mark 1.5 inch. I'm taking 1.5 inch all the way. So what I'm going to do is to just arrange my loops on it, taking note of that inches that I left earlier. That's why you're seeing me measuring it out with my tape, and I'm just arranging the loops where they're supposed to be. So as you can see, I did it on the lining piece alone. So what I'm going to do is to use this front piece like this to cover it up, and I'm going to stitch it on top on the sewing machine. And I went ahead to do the same thing for the other part as well, and this was how it came out very neatly. So now that we're done with that, the next thing we're going to do now is to add boning to my top. To get this, I'm going to make boning casing So I'm going to create places where I'm going to pass my boning through. So I'm going to put one here at this place to keep my loop in place. And when I'm stitching it down, I'm just going to fold it up a little bit up like this. And then I'll also stitch on this side here and on the other side as well to get a casing there, and on this part here and also on this part. So I'm going to actually have 4 boning casing. So I have one here. After I stitch it down, I stitched up here as well, the other breast area as well, and then the loop area. So these are the parts where I'm going to put my boning. So guys, next thing, as you can see, I'm just passing the boning through the casing I made. And when I'm through passing it like this and it gets to the top, I'm just going to shift it out a little bit here and then cut it out so that I would take everything in and still have enough space at the end for me to stitch on. So I'm going to do the same thing for all the other parts as well. So guys, now I'm done placing all my boning along all the casings. What I'm going to do now is to head over to the sewing machine. I'm going to make folds at the end. This is like the last thing I'm going to do here, and I'm just going to stitch it down all the way to the end. After I was done with that, I just made this long white rope to use for my lacing, and then I laced down the loop. And that's basically all for this video, guys. It was really fun making this top. I really love how it came out. See how cute it looks on me. Let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Please, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Bye.